Christine Nelson, 2871 Legion Avenue North. Good evening. As members of this council are aware, 6 months ago I applied to serve on the HR committee. I did so then because of a deep-seated concern I had that the city staff was not being treated properly. This concern has only grown in the time since, as we've seen 2 more valued and experienced city staff leave, bringing the total to 9. And our Public Works Department has unionized amid an overall atmosphere of fear and suspicion from the City Council, according to an interview that appeared in the St. Paul Pioneer Press. Unfortunately, after watching the disgraceful treatment of our fire chief by one of the council members at the last meeting, seemingly only because he had the audacity to not give the answer she wanted, I feel compelled to stand up here again and implore the public to watch this exchange for themselves. It's on the March 2nd meeting replay, specifically at the 1 hour 5 minute mark, and again at the 5 hour 44 minute mark. See for yourself just what our HR chair deems to be professional and respectful treatment of one of her and the city's most valued employees. I believe it paints a clear picture of why we are seeing such tremendous turnover here in City Hall. I'm not sure about all of you, but where I come from, there's tremendous respect and gratitude for the men and women who serve as emergency responders, specifically firefighters. These individuals put their lives and safety aside to ensure all of ours. One need only think back to 9/11 to remember just what it is we owe these men and women who serve in this noble profession. Even if one were to put aside the notion that the work environment is a more pleasant and productive environment, if you actually like your colleagues, you at least need to respect one another in the way you address one another, whether in public or private. We have heard, can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. We have heard a great deal about the reasons for the censure against Councilmember Blair that I and roughly 300 other individuals who signed a petition feel are unfounded. Council members who voted to enact this censure and who also refused to remove it point repeatedly to an incident that took place late at night during a council meeting last fall when he asked an employee if she had a calculator after discovery of a mistake on the city's pro forma. To the public again, I implore you to watch the March 2nd 1 hour 5 minute mark and judge for yourself if asking an employee if they have a calculator after noting an error in computation is in the same vein or offense of asking the fire chief repeatedly, unnecessarily, inappropriately, if he feels an increase in traffic constitutes a public safety concern. Ending finally with, it's a difficult question. No, it's not. It's actually not. It's basic math. You don't need a calculator for it or an accounting degree, just common sense. I truly believe the council member who asked that question was well aware of the answer, but was trying to force the chief and then the city engineer to give her the answer she deemed correct in the issue of connectivity through roads in developing neighborhoods. You know, it was a demeaning, embarrassing, and hard to watch exchange, and it was difficult to watch our HR chair in this form, pushing an employee in public to get the answer she wanted, despite it not being his area of professional expertise. This same council member later went on to disrespect the chief yet again. For those who can't tolerate a 7-hour marathon meeting, I invite you to witness the exchange at the 5 hour 44 minute mark. Again, she's not happy with the fire chief's difference of opinion, which were based on statistics and experience I may add on the issue of a single fire station. Please witness for yourself how she addresses him. Note her body language, the look on her face, all while giving the equivalent of a public shaming about how the chief had, quote, better come to this council right away if he had legitimate concerns about public safety, and I am quoting that directly. She actually said, if they are real. The implication is he's not been doing so and putting us all at risk. This ugly insinuation about our fire chief could not be further from the truth. He has served on the Lake Elmo Fire Department for over 30 years and has been the chief since 2000, all the while looking out for yours, mine, and this very council's safety. I have witnessed exactly what does happen when he comes before this particular council looking for help in keeping us safe. His requests have been met with challenges about time-tested, county-approved street naming conventions, challenges about what constitutes the safest width of new neighborhood streets to properly accommodate emergency vehicles, challenged and repeatedly delayed requests for a part-time employee, and finally, challenges to the need to explore options for a single fire station versus two due to the changing demographic of who would willingly serve as a volunteer on-call firefighter. I don't know about all of you. I will gladly take the opinion and advice of what is best in regard to my public safety from a 30-year veteran of the fire department versus an accountant any day of the week. If censure is the only answer in dealing with a council member who's not respectful in their treatment of city staff, then I do ask you to act with consistency in enforcing it. Either that, or you could consider restoring integrity to this community. Use the power of your office not to intimidate employees, but to root out corruption. Rebuild the shattered trust. You have a responsibility to ensure the discourse you engage in promotes the best in Lake Elmo. And you have an obligation to lead by example. It's time you start doing so. Otherwise, you will continue to hear from your constituents, not just at council meetings, but at the polls in November. Thank you.
Thank you.